There is a saying in the United States Army Infantry. The officers might plan the war, but the platoon sergeant actually fights it. If you've never been in a combat zone, you probably don't know what a platoon sergeant is. He's the old man, the guy with bad knees, a faded tattoo, and eyes that have seen way too much. To a platoon of scared 18-year-old kids, he is a father, a judge, and a guardian angel all rolled into one. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're talking about the men who raise the next generation of warriors and the ultimate price they pay to bring their boys home. Private First Class Michael Jenkins was an FNG, the new guy. He was 19, fresh out of Fort Benning, and terrified when he got assigned to the 101st Airborne. He was handed over to Sergeant First Class Thomas Miller. Everyone just called him Smoke. Smoke was a 20-year veteran. He was exactly 3 months away from his EAS, his retirement. 3 months away from trading his rifle for a fishing pole and going home to his teenage daughter Emily in Texas, the mentor and the valley. Smoke didn't take it easy on the new kid. He rode Jenkins hard. He made him dig his fighting position twice. He made him memorize the radio frequencies until he could recite them in his sleep. When Jenkins complained, Smoke just got in his face, chewed on his unlit cigar, and said, "I don't care if you like me. Boot, my job isn't to be your friend. My job is to make sure your mother doesn't get a folded flag. Understand?" But underneath that rough exterior, Smoke cared more than anyone. Every night, before Smoke went to sleep on his cot, Jenkins watched him take out a cheap, tarnished brass compass. It wasn't military issue. It was a gift from his daughter Emily, given to him before his first deployment. It was his anchor to the real world. Then came the Arghandab River Valley, deployment to Afghanistan. The locals called it the Heart of Darkness. It was a maze of thick grape rows, mud huts, and deep irrigation ditches. Every single step felt like walking through a minefield. The heat was over 110 degrees, and the air was thick with the smell of dust and cordite. Smoke kept Jenkins practically tethered to his hip. He taught the kid how to read the dirt, how to spot disturbed earth where an IED might be buried. He was teaching him how to survive the fatal funnel. It was an early morning patrol, or so 5:30 hours. The sun was just starting to crest the mountains, casting long, dark shadows over the grape fields. The platoon was moving in a staggered column. Jenkins was walking third in line. Smoke was right behind him. They were approaching a narrow gap between two high mud brick walls. In infantry tactics, they call this a fatal funnel, a choke point where you have zero cover and nowhere to run. Smoke felt it before he saw it. The hairs on the back of his neck stood up. He raised his fist to halt the patrol, opening his mouth to yell a warning, but he was 1 second too late. The valley completely erupted. An ambush. PKM machine gun fire tore through the mud walls like they were made of paper. The noise was a physical force, knocking the breath out of the men. Dirt and rock exploded everywhere. Jenkins froze. It's a natural human reaction. The fear completely paralyzed him. He was standing dead center in the fatal funnel, bullets snapping the air just inches from his face. He was seconds away from taking a round. The sacrifice. Smoke didn't yell. He didn't think. He simply acted. The 20-year veteran, the man with bad knees and 3 months left until retirement, sprinted directly into the line of fire. Smoke tackled Jenkins with the force of a freight train, launching the young private out of the funnel and into the safety of a deep irrigation ditch. But as Smoke pushed Jenkins down, he took the hit. Multiple rounds. Jenkins hit the dirt hard. When he scrambled back up, choking on the dust, he saw Smoke lying in the dirt, gasping for air. The platoon was laying down heavy suppressive fire, screaming for a medic, screaming for a dust-off. Jenkins crawled over to his platoon sergeant, his hands shaking, trying to apply pressure to the wounds. "Stay with me, Smoke. You're going home, remember? You're going home to Emily." Jenkins yelled, tears cutting through the dirt on his face. Smoke looked up at the young private. His breathing was shallow. He reached into his tactical vest with a trembling, blood-stained hand and pulled out that tarnished brass compass. He pressed it into Jenkins's hand, wrapping the kid's fingers around it. "You lead them back, kid," Smoke whispered. "You lead them back and tell Emily her old man didn't quit." And right there, in the dust of a foreign valley, the old breed passed the torch. Let the silence breathe. The present day. The climax. Fast forward 10 years. A bright, sunny day at a university campus in Texas. A young woman named Emily is wearing her graduation gown, holding her diploma, smiling for pictures with her family. But out of the corner of her eye, she sees a man walking toward her. He's wearing sharp, perfectly pressed US Army dress blues. He has the rank of staff sergeant on his sleeves. It's Michael Jenkins. The boot is now the veteran. He walks up to Emily, stops, and gives her a slow, deeply respectful salute. He takes off his white glove, reaches into his pocket, and pulls out a tarnished brass compass. He places it gently in her hands. "Ma'am," Jenkins says, his voice thick with emotion, 10 years ago, your father saved my life. He taught me how to be a soldier, but more importantly, he taught me how to be a man. He told me to tell you, he never quit." Emily grips the compass to her chest and breaks down in tears, burying her face in the shoulder of the man to the platoon sergeants, the squad leaders, and the old men of the infantry who treat other people's kids like their own. We owe you a debt that can never be repaid. If you respect the men and women who lay down their lives for their brothers and sisters, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video to honor their legacy. Drop a or an Until Valhalla in the comments below. Stay safe, watch your six, and we'll see you in the next one. Video created by Sub81M Rock.